Hello, hello again. Welcome to Verbling. I'm Teacher Oakley. Hi, Anna.
Hi, teacher. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. Okay, for this particular class, we are going to be concentrating on using gerunds and infinitives. We're going to do this with a variety of different exercises, fill in the blank, classification, and some speaking exercises. The latter half of the class, we're going to attempt exercises which will hopefully, anyway, require us to actually speak using gerunds and infinitives. I got little topics that hopefully will enable us to do that. Okay, so we're concentrating on gerunds and infinitives. Anna, do you have any idea what gerunds and infinitives are, even to begin with?
Yeah, yes, I have idea, but maybe there was a certain time I didn't practice, especially with this kind of verb. Although I like writing nearly every day.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, you just used a gerund. I like writing.
Hay españoles, ¿eh? Va viendo más. Ahora somos tres.
Whoa. Hello. Surprise. Hello. Oh, both you guys jumped in at once. Hello, Javier.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Great. Welcome to the class. And hello, Rafa, again. Hey, Rafa.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Hello again. Okay. And we have been joined by Jessica. Hello, greetings.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
I'm just connected. Hello.
Hi, Jessica. Where are you from?
Hi, I'm from Italy. I think
Great.
it's possible to understand that from my accent.
No, I can't tell.
Okay. Because everyone tell me the same thing.
Okay. Anyway, no worries. Okay. All right, everyone. We're going to be concentrating on gerunds and infinitives. These are clauses. Okay, they're basically, we're using the words verbs and adding ing for a gerund, but it's basically used as a noun. Not truly a noun, but it's used in the same way as a noun, like I like writing. Okay. Courtesy of Anna. All right, fine. I is the subject now. The main verb is like. Gerunds and infinitives are not the main verb. Here, I like writing. There's a gerund. Writing is our object noun, pretty much. The concept of writing. So, okay, Anna likes the concept of writing. Great. That's a gerund. Of course, Anna could very well have said, I like to write. Super. Both of these sentences are equally valid. I like to write. And to write, to, and the verb, the natural form of the verb, of course, is an infinitive. Now, the tricky part, and frankly, it's a gigantic pain in the neck, is that we have to decide after the main verb, in my example here, that would be like, whether we want to use or need to use a gerund or an infinitive. Sadly, there's no easy formula. This is not algebra or geometry. I can't tell you an easy formula because it is dependent on that main verb. That is the key. Some main verbs demand use of a gerund. Using an infinitive is simply impossible, vice versa. Some verbs demand an infinitive. You can't use a gerund. Here are my example I've started the class with, like, obviously I can use either one, and it's perfectly okay and perfectly normal. All right, so unfortunately I can't give you a magic key. There's no magic bullet here that will give you the key to always, always, forever success to gerunds and infinitives. But what I can do is give you some practice. And so that's what I aim to do today. We're going to do some couple of different exercises and then a speaking exercise, because most of all, I'd like to hear you try using gerunds and or infinitives in speaking. See how you do. Let me quickly welcome Vincenzo. Hello, Vincenzo.
Hi, teacher. Good morning. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm fine.
Yes, it's different time there.
It is. Okay. Well, nice to have you aboard. All right, let's get started. I've compiled this lovely little gerund and infinitive activity worksheet, which I am going to share with you now. And away we go. Okay. We're going to start with a simple fill-in-the-blank exercise. Complete the following sentences with the verb, which is in parentheses here for you already, in the correct form. In other words, the word in parentheses, you're going to either use an infinitive, to, verb, or a gerund, verb, ing. As we go, I'm sure we're going to discover some things about infinitives and gerunds. Anna, I'm going to have you start, please. You were first in the class, so.
Okay. He forgot to remind me to give him the key.
Great. He forgot to remind me. Now, that fits and that's fine. Okay. What, Anna, would happen if we said he forgot reminding me?
I think it's not correct. It's not correct because this verb is only I have to put infinitive verb.
It demands an infinitive? Well, no. No, it doesn't. But what it does do, now here's another tricky part of infinitives and gerunds. What it does do, think about this with me. Let's go slowly here. He forgot to remind me. What does that mean? He didn't tell you, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. He forgot reminding me. What does that mean?
Before, maybe at first of the sentence you can put remind me after a very short period of time, maybe, I don't know.
Well, to tell you the truth, it makes no difference. You can it's totally okay and grammatically correct to use either infinitive or gerund, but he forgot to remind me means he didn't tell me. He forgot reminding me means he did tell me. He reminded me, but then he forgot later that he had reminded me earlier.
Okay. Yes. I told you the contrast in contrast the different opinion. Yes, I got it. It's so, earlier. He reminded me earlier.
And then he forgot.
Yeah, before I forgot. Yes. Okay.
Before he forgot. Okay. So the meaning is different. In one case, he forgot to remind me he did not do the action at all. He forgot to do the action. In the second, he forgot reminding me he did do the action, but he doesn't remember doing the action. So totally different meaning. This is something we have to be very careful of. in some cases, it's with some words, not that many, but with a few words, by using an infinitive or a gerund, we entirely change the meaning. So, okay, so you have to be very careful of that. All right.
Thank you.
Lesson number 1. Forgot is definitely one of those words. So don't forget to remember that forget will change meaning depending what you use.
Excuse me,
Okay.
teacher. Excuse me,
Yes.
teacher. I didn't catch the difference between saying to remind and reminding. The use of one or the other.
Okay.
Uh,
Now, Vincenzo, it's not ever about the infinitive or the gerund changing the meaning. It's not ever about that. What it is about, it's always about the main verb. Always. So,
yeah.
I like to remind Vincenzo about gerunds and infinitives. I like reminding Vincenzo about gerunds and infinitives. In that case, I like being the main verb. The meaning doesn't change at all. I like to remind Vincenzo. I like reminding Vincenzo. Same meaning, no difference at all. Totally my preference, which one I care to use. It's only because of this main verb forgot that now I have the problem that it actually changes the meaning. All right? Whether I choose to use infinitive or gerund. I forgot to remind. I didn't do it. I forgot reminding. I forgot that I had already done it. The meaning is totally different. Okay, that's it. So it does not hinge on the infinitive or the gerund. Everything is about the main verb. All right? Can you wrap your head around that? Xinyu, welcome to the class. Howdy, howdy, and hello. Hi, Xinyu.
Yes, I catch the different case because in one case it's referred to the other people. In the second, with the gerund, it's referred to me, as the person who is talking.
That's right.
Is it so? Okay,
that is so. That's 100%. You got it. That's it exactly. You got it. You got it. Okay. Let's continue. Javier, let me give you a shot here. Javier.
Yeah.
Sentence number 2.
What is the choice? With which verb?
Okay. Your answer is here, not be. But are you going to say to not be, or are you going to say not being? Are you going to choose a gerund or an infinitive? Actually, of the negative verb to be.
I think so. Not be, no?
Well, you can't say she claimed to not be selfish. That just simply doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So it either has to be to not be or not being.
Not be.
It can't be not be. It either has to be to not be. It has to be that.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so that's what you're saying. To not be. Okay.
To not be.
She claimed to not be selfish, but it just wasn't true. Okay, this is correct. This is absolutely correct. However, let me lead you down the path. Is it okay for me to say she claimed not being? Is that okay?
On the past, sorry? I can't understand well.
Would it be okay to, you chose to not be. She claimed to not be selfish, but it just wasn't true. That is correct. That is a grammatically correct sentence. My question to you, would it be grammatically correct if we use the gerund? She claimed not being selfish, but it just wasn't true. Is that okay to do that?
I think so. No.
You think so? No. Okay, you think not, or I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, actually, well, let's see. How about any what do other people in the class think? I'm curious.
Excuse me, teacher. A
Yeah.
question: is it possible to say she claimed not to be selfish?
She claimed not to be
Not to be
selfish.
selfish. Or
Uh, yeah, actually, we can say it either way. That's a very good question. Um, okay. Yeah. Okay. She claimed not to be selfish.
not to be.
Right? Okay. Yes. That's okay. She claimed to not be selfish. Actually, we can use it either way in this case. This is sort of a special case. That's a very good question. Um, okay, well, actually, he forgot not to remind me. He forgot to not remind me. I guess you could say it either way. I guess it's not that special. So, yeah, with not, you can reverse it. It's okay to do that. Okay. Rafa, what do you think? Would it be okay to use not being? She claimed not being selfish. You think it's okay or not okay? I might have lost you there. Okay, I definitely lost Zingo. Okay. Anybody else in the class have a strong feeling, one way or the other, about not being?
Can I ask for a question?
Mm-hmm.
Is the verb to claim a transitive verb? I mean, does this verb have the direct object?
Does
I
it
don't know
need?
how to explain.
Yeah, I know transitive. Sure. Does it need an object? Okay.
Is it
Like,
transitive?
is it transitive or intransitive? Claimed. Okay. Let me think on that. She claimed. Well, it depends on. That's a tough one. I think it depends on the meaning.
Oh,
You
okay.
you can
If,
claim something. If you claim something, I claimed the toothbrush in Lost and Found. Clearly, that's transitive, right?
okay.
Okay.
And
Clearly, that definition, it's obviously it must be transitive because you claim an object. It has to be. But if you claim to be something, I mean, you claim to be, obviously, you're going to claim to be an adjective. He claims to be a genius.
okay.
He claims that she went to the store. Okay. In that case, claims she went to the store. Okay, you're using an adjective, so I suppose it's intransitive, or you're using an adjective phrase, or you're using some sort of adjective clause. So I guess there you go. It's very tough. It depends on the use of the verb, actually.
And it's possible to have also the form with gerund, I think.
Okay. In this case, she claims not being selfish. Yes, I agree with you. It's a little bit weird in this particular sentence. In this particular sentence, I was most certainly choose, as Javier chose, I would choose to use the infinitive. You know, okay, for example, all right, let me change this completely. Whoops. Okay. She claimed not being at the football, but I saw her with my own eyes. Okay, like that. But I saw her. Okay, she claimed not being at the football game. So Okay, in that case, I would actually choose to use the gerund. I think it actually
Okay.
sounds better. All right. So yes, it is possible. So you're right. Your logic worked out. Although I agree with Javier in the sentence we were particularly looking at, infinitive would be my first choice. It is possible. So there's a case where, depending on our context, what we're saying, there's no rule. Either is grammatically correct, technically speaking, grammatically correct, but it's going to sound better in one use and better the other use in a different situation. All right, so that's another point I wanted to bring up. Okay, brief pause. Brief pause to say hello to Zinio. Okay, Zinio.
I'm sorry for being
hello.
late.
It's okay, not a problem. Welcome.
Can you go back to the number 2?
Say what?
I don't know the answer for number 2.
No one does. It's all a mystery. No. The end result, after much discussion, either one is possible. Okay? Either one. We're choosing gerund or infinitive. In number 1, either is possible, but it changes the meaning. In number 2, either is possible, but it is much more likely, depending on the context, to use one or the other. And we have to, the other thing we have learned is that it's important that we understand claim, as actually Jessica brought up, as two different meanings, two different uses, a transitive and an intransitive, and we have to be careful of the meaning, the actual meaning of the verb. Verbs have different meanings. That can affect whether we choose to use a gerund or an infinitive. So this, my friends, is a cautionary tale. Okay. Nader, hello. Good afternoon. Hi there. Nice to have you aboard. Okay. Rafa is gone. Okay. Thanks. You're welcome. Rafa's split. All right, Jessica, you can try the next one. Number 3.
Okay. I don't enjoy talking to pessimistic people. And I was thinking to the gerund form because it never happens to me to see this verb with the infinitive in this case.
It's never happened with you? Why not? I'll tell you why, because it doesn't work. This is wrong. I don't enjoy to talk to pessimistic people. Yes, you are correct, Jessica. Your instincts have led you correctly. A lot of times when you're deciding based on the main verb whether to use gerund or infinitive, even for myself, Jessica, I'm basically going on instincts. I've never heard I enjoy to swim. Sometimes another thing that I do when I'm trying to decide, I form a very, very simplistic sentence. I use to swim or something. I enjoy to swim. Now, that sounds stupid. I enjoy swimming. Okay, that's not a bad idea, Nader. A class about cautionary tales. Yeah, you're right. In fact, I started drawing that up. I think somewhere in my files I have half a class already planned for that. Now that you remind me. Okay, so Jessica, your instincts have not led you astray. You are absolutely correct. Good job. Okay. Let's have Vincenzo take a crack at it. Number 4.
4. Tom can't afford a house this year. Tom can't afford to buy a house.
All right, you can't afford to buy a house. Again, I am totally in agreement with you. Is it even possible to use buying? Can't afford buying.
Yeah. Sometimes I go by ear in this case, This case.
Is it possible to use the gerund? of after a Ford.
It's impossible. It's impossible to use the gerund. No.
Okay.
Is it possible to use the gerund or not?
Well, what do you think? Okay. It's in this case, most certainly, Tom can't afford buying a house this year. It sounds very, very strange, doesn't it? Would you agree?
Yes. For you, teacher. Yes.
For me, it sounds very, very strange as well.
Yes. Yes. Not for me, but not for me, teacher.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is another one that demands an infinitive. Although I have to say, hearing somebody saying something like, "You can't afford coming to work late anymore." Okay, you may hear this, all right, spoken by a native speaker. I think it's not technically correct. I think here we have a case with a Ford where you're supposed to use only the infinitive, but even native speakers quite commonly make a mistake and use a gerund after a Ford. All right.
Because teacher, I think that use the gerund is it's only a word, so it could be very simple, no, to use the gerund, because with the genitive, with the infinitive, you have two words, and so in your mind, I think in the American mind, it's possible to short the sentence.
Yeah, well,
no,
quite honestly, we're going to reduce pronunciation of the infinitive anyway. No one says to. No American says to. We say to buy.
To buy. No, that's
to
too
buy.
Short.
Yeah. To buy, to talk, to not be, to remind. We are going to reduce pronunciation of to just a to and a schwa sound. To buy. It's going to be very fast. So that's not really a factor, because we know how to reduce that down to nothing. Americans are experts. Experts.
Yes.
Experts at making things easy and convenient. We invented McDonald's. Come on now. Oh, that's right. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Vincenzo. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. So you can see there's so many factors going on here with the gerunds and infinitives, and Jessica was really right when she's going on past experience and instinct. Frankly, that's the way native speakers have to approach it, and native speakers make mistakes here. Okay. Okay, now we have an interesting construction where we have a main verb, give up, and then either a gerund or an infinitive, and followed by another infinitive. What are we going to do? Xingyu, what do you think? Gerund or infinitive? Number 5, go ahead and read it.
Number 5, I give up trying to convince him to split the bill. He is too stingy.
Okay, trying to all right, Nader, see ya. To convince him to split the bill. Okay, there's another grammatical mistake here, in my opinion.
Yes. After the bill, we need a period.
You need a period, or you can do this, all right? Because these two ideas are very, very closely related. Here's another option, Xingyu. I can put a semicolon. All right, this little thing. Semicolon.
Oh.
Yeah.
I type the spelling. Semicolon.
Yep. I can do this.
I will take the notes. Thank you.
Sure. This is another way to create a compound sentence, two independent clauses, especially if they're really, really closely related, such as this one. Pardon my other typo. I gave up trying to convince him to split the bill. He's too stingy. This is one sentence with two independent clauses. This is perfectly okay to do it this way. You see this when a pause is likely, but anyway, obviously I could use some other connective, some contraction like because he's too stingy. That's another way to do it, obviously. But The semicolon works well because the two, there's no cause and effect, but these are very strongly related ideas, so it works very well in this case. Okay, your use of the gerund.
Yes, teacher. A question, teacher.
Sure.
Is it possible to say in this case in this sentence because there are two infinitive? Generally, I can use the first infinitive as a gerund because two infinitive is not only because
No.
no, I can say
That's a very good question, but here, let me give you a simple example.
to try, to convince, to a lot of infinitive. Yeah, it's not good to pronounce in this way.
No, it's okay. I want to
It's
try
okay.
to learn.
To try, to convince, to speak.
Okay, it's okay. I want to try to learn to swim.
Yeah, can we have a sentence like this with a lot of infinitive in this?
I want to try to learn to swim tomorrow. Yeah, we can. Sure you can. It's fun to say, even, Vincenzo.
Yes.
And of course, you're asking me about pronouncing it. Is it a pain in the neck? No, because I'm going to say I wanna try to learn to swim tomorrow. I want to try to learn to swim tomorrow.
Yes, and that's a slang. It's slang this way.
That's not slang. Wanna is not slang. It's just a reduced form. It's the way we really talk in real life, not the way you learn.
It's a normal way. It's not.
Yeah. It's normal reduction. I want to learn to swim tomorrow. Yeah, wanna. That's it. You wanna. You got it.
Wanna.
So no, this is perfectly okay to have multiple. This is three.
Multiple infinitive.
Three in a row here. That's perfectly okay. That's not a factor. So don't worry about that. Okay.
Don't affect the sentence. Don't affect.
No effect. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how we. The same way with gerunds and infinitives. Don't worry about putting whatever. Don't worry about this factor. Oh, gerund first and infinitive second, or vice versa, or two gerunds, or three infinitive. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, you're welcome. Okay, Zinio.
I have a question.
Sure.
For number 6, we can see I want to try to learn swimming. Is it okay?
Yes, it is. I want to try learning to swim. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Learning swimming. Is it okay?
I want to try learning swimming. I believe so. I think it is okay. The only one that isn't okay is try. Why? Because it's behind want. And we can't use I want trying. That doesn't work. So you're forced to use an infinitive after want. Want is a verb where you always use an infinitive. I want loving. No, I can't say that. I want to love. Okay. Back to number 5. Just to note, Zinyu, you're completely correct. Gave up trying. You cannot. You absolutely cannot use an infinitive after this phrasal verb. Phrasal verbs, give up, are going to work the same as the main verbs. They're just as complicated. There's no difference. All right. Here's a case where after give up, you don't have a choice. You have to use a gerund form. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Alrighty. Nader, what do you think? Is it to play or playing? We are currently learning to play or playing. Yeah. Okay. To play. Very good. Okay.
Playing is okay?
Is playing okay? Well, no. We are currently learning playing the guitar. No. You might have a sentence construction where you add a relative clause. We are currently learning English while playing guitar. See, something like that would be possible. But here's a case where you would definitely have to use your use while and divide it into another clause. But back to back like that, no. Is it because it's a continuous tense, present continuous? We had learned playing the guitar. Nope, that doesn't work either. We had learned to play the guitar. We will learn to play the guitar. We will learn playing the guitar. No. Either case doesn't depend on the tense of the verb, of the main verb. It just depends on the main verb. And here's a case, Nader is 100% correct. Learning, or learn, you have to use an infinitive. Okay. You can't learn swimming. You learn to swim.
Sorry, teacher. In this case, I think that gerunds and verbs can't go together.
But this is not a gerund in this sentence. Learning. It is no. This is a present continuous verb tense.
Yes.
It's just you see the helper verb or auxiliary verb is divided from the main verb by a adverb, which common enough.
Okay.
Right. So actually, this is not a gerund. This is, in fact, you got to watch for that. Well, no, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. That is a very, very good point. It is easy to get distracted like this sentence here and be thinking, oh, I've got a gerund. I've simply got a verb to be, and then another gerund, or even there are ing adjectives, of course. So you might be confused. It's easy to be confused. I get confused sometimes, so don't feel bad. But simple way to check that is to make sure you have your actual verb. Check for this adverb too. That's important. Make sure you actually have a main verb. Right. Okay. That can be easily confusing. Anna, while I'm talking to you here.
Yes. I can risk being is really short-tempered.
Okay.
Yes.
I can't risk being late. My boss is really short-tempered. Here's another one where this really needs to be broken up. Either period in two sentences, or because my boss is really short-tempered. Another mistake on my part. These are definitely two separate independent clauses. All right, but use of being. I can't risk being late. Could you say I can't risk to be late? I can't risk to do something. Do you think it's possible, Anna?
I'm sorry, I can't hear very well. Your voice is reverberating repeatedly. Sorry.
Is it? I'm not doing it on purpose. Okay. There must be a storm. Okay.
Teacher. Is it possible to use to be? Because it seems to me that using being, it's something that is that's happens at the moment.
Yeah, well,
when the person is talking in this moment, I am saying I can risk being, because in this moment when I go to work.
Well, no,
but if I say I can risk to be late, is in general. I think.
Well, actually, no. Actually,
so?
Anna is perfectly correct. Actually, again, it all depends on this main verb. You can't use an infinitive after risk.
No.
I can't risk to swim in the deep water. No, I can't risk swimming in the deep water. It's just not going to work. She was actually completely correct. Now, being, first of all, you got to be careful with being, ing, as a verb, as the main verb anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay for me to say my kid is being naughty. All right, naughty, that. My kid is being naughty. That's okay. All right, present continuous tense. At this moment in time, my kid is being naughty.
At this moment, yes.
Right.
But in the number 8, is something it's happening in this moment or not? Something that happens in this moment or not?
No, not at all.
No.
I can't risk. This is a present simple tense. That's the main verb, so you get the idea, the verb tense information from the main verb. No, this is present simple. This means at all times, a normal state of affairs, always. The sky is blue. I can't risk being late.
Yes.
Right.
And so, if I have to say this sentence in this very moment, that I am that I could be late. Is it the same? Is it the same? I can say the same sentence or not, or I have to change something? Because in this moment I have to rush in order to.
Okay, then you would have to say, you would use the verb to be and ing. I am risking. Okay, that means you're doing it right now. You can't do it because you can't. Okay, I can't use a modal. Okay, this is actually a very important point. All right. I might. Let's make it more clear. A modal. I might. You can't do this. You cannot do this. I might to read a book. You cannot use the infinitive. I might reading a book. You can't do it. You just cannot do that. You cannot put a gerund or an infinitive behind a modal, ever. I might risk. You need a verb. Basically, you can't put a. I need a verb. I might risk. The modal itself kind of expresses the idea. Can I say I will risk? I might risk? No, because might already shows that it's in the future. We can use modal perfects to talk about the past. I might have risked in the past using a present perfect.
Yes, in the past, but I mean in this very moment, teacher.
If I want to talk about this very moment, I might be risking. I guess. At this moment, I might be risking something.
I guess. Might be risking. We have to put the sentence in as a possibility.
Right. So I guess I cannot be risking being late. But it would be weird to say that, you know. I cannot be risking being late at this time.
Right now.
Right now. I cannot be risking being late right now.
Yes.
I guess that's grammatically correct, but it's a mouthful. It's a mouthful. That's a lot to say.
In order to distinguish between a general sentence, general,
right,
and the situation at the moment.
Right, and I understand that, but the fact, you know, the context, risk being late because of your boss, you generally wouldn't say, okay, how would I say that in real life? Today, I have an important meeting, and if I'm late, I will be fired. Yes. I can't risk being late today. That's how I would say it. I would say, I can't risk being late.
Not verb of time. Not verb of time, yes. Okay.
I would not bother to make the verb tense to present continuous. I would just say, I can't risk being late today.
Yes.
I have an important meeting. I wouldn't bother. It's so much easier to just add a time clause, and that makes it obvious you're talking about
this moment, yes.
Now. Oh, the general now, not this split second. You don't need it to be this split second. Like you use present continuous, I am teaching class now, right now. This is not the kind of context where you're talking about risk. That's
when you are using a present continuous, there is no problem, teacher. No. Yes.
Yeah. Right. But okay. Anyway, the long and the short of it, after risk, you need a gerund. So Anna, you struggled, but we actually got nowhere the whole time you were gone. So yeah, you're right. Okay. Welcome back. Okay. Let's take a look at the next one. Javier, number 10. Oops.
Winning.
This is another typo. Sorry, Javier. This should be feels, not fells. My mistake there.
It deserves winning.
It deserves winning. No. Again, try to give yourself a very here's my technique, honestly, what I do. Sometimes it's confusing in context. I take that main verb and I make myself an extremely simple sentence. I deserve swimming. Does that make sense? I deserve to swim. How about, okay, a sentence that makes more sense. Relax. I deserve to relax. I've had a hard day. I deserve relaxing. And not so good, right? So, deserve is another one that demands an infinitive. He deserves to win. I deserve to relax. Okay? All right. That's my little technique. Extract that main verb. Again, it always hinges on that main verb. That's the important thing. And make yourself a much easier to understand sentence and see if that works for you.
A question, teacher.
Yeah.
But general, sometimes the general is used as in order to make a noun. So in this case, if I use it as if deserves winning, it could be used like victory. No, could be the sense could be victory. The victory.
I understand your sense of the word, right? But here's an option for you, Vincenzo. Go ahead and use the word victory. Thank you. That was fun. You made me smile and you made me laugh. I appreciate that very much. I understand what you're meaning. Actually, always the gerund, all of these gerunds, actually, Vincenzo, in reality, what we're doing is we're forming a noun. It's acting as a noun. It really is a concept of a noun. So it's always a noun. So any of these, all of the above, wherever we have seen playing is the concept of playing. The concept playing. I like playing. All right. It's the concept of playing. It's the noun. So even anywhere here where we've seen where we need to buy.
No, excuse me, sorry, but they are used also with like verbs, no?
No, not really. Actually, they're the objects. They're the objects of other. They can't exist without a main verb. They have to follow a main verb. They have to. So no, they're not. Their base, of course, is a verb. They're based on verbs.
What are you saying to me? Right. What are you telling to me?
I'm saying that you can consider gerunds and infinitives as nouns. They really are.
There's a lot of confusion now, teacher.
Okay. They're basically they're used in the same way as a noun.
Mm.
I deserve to relax. Okay. Yes, it is a verb to relax, of course, but it's being used in the same grammatical way as a noun. I don't know. Maybe I've confused you. It's
Yes,
easier to
now
see with It's easier to see with a gerund. A gerund is clearly the concept, so it's being used like a noun. The concept of doing that action. Okay.
I have some advice for Vincento.
Okay.
Before this class, you should read some grammar books.
Okay. Well, because
Yeah.
I read Xenia, that's great
I
advice.
agree,
However,
yes.
I've read 50 grammar books and I still find this confusing myself. Hard to explain. It's very conceptual. Okay.
And
All right.
teacher, you are
Yeah.
very professional and knowledgeable.
Whatever. I'm getting ready to shoot myself in the next 10 minutes after class. Okay, this is a tough lesson. I struggle teaching it. You guys struggle learning it. I know that. I understand. There's so many factors, and there's so many exceptions, and there's so many different ways to conceive of this concept. It's really an abstract concept. I understand that. Really, that's why I'm doing a practice class.
Brainstorming, teacher.
There's really no way to explain it in a clear, concise manner. It's just not. I've never heard one, and I've studied a lot about it, and I've never seen anything in a grammar textbook or in a YouTube or anywhere that can clearly and concisely explain this concept. It is so abstract. Really, for practical, useful purposes, practice is the only answer. Okay. Speaking of which, okay, Javier. Oh, Javier just went. Okay, Jessica, you got an
Okay.
easy one.
Okay. I love going and I love to go the movie on Saturday night. I think it's possible to use both the forms, the gerund and infinitive.
Okay. There's a problem here, though. I love going. Okay, I love going to the movies. I love to go to the movies. I missed the to here.
Yeah.
However, I missed the two. I missed something else here as well. What do I need here after I?
I.
I something love going.
I would.
Word.
Yeah, you got it.
Word.
You got it. You are correct.
I would love to.
I would love to go to the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, or I would love going to the movie on Saturday night. Either one. It's perfectly okay. So after our main verbs, love, like, hate, these types of stative verbs, we can use either. That's a fairly normal thing. That as normal as gerunds and infinitives get, anyway. When we're talking verbs that indicate our feeling, we can generally use either one. Okay, so that's about as good a rule as there is. Okay, Vincenzo, how about 12?
David promised clean it tomorrow. He's very generous. Promised. David promised to clean it.
Indeed.
To clean it tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Here's another one.
But I don't know why, teacher, bro.
Your instinct. Go on your instinct, like a panther.
I go by ear, teacher.
By ear. That's right. It's like playing music by ear. Gerunds and infinitives. You're going to play by ear, and you did a great job. Clean to clean. Because of promise. You promise to do something. You don't promise doing something. Promise to do something. Because, all right, you promise it's in the future. You're going to do this action in the future. Okay, Nader, take care. So long for now. All right. Okay, we've only got like 5 minutes left. Let's see if we can smash this out. We didn't even get to the speaking part. I guess next time I do this, I'll break this into 2 or 3 or 4 classes. All right. Can you classify these verbs into gerunds or infinitives? Now, when I say classify these verbs, okay, that's wrong. I mean the verb after. Should the verb after, should it be followed with a gerund, an infinitive, or either? Offer. So to help yourself out, what I was trying to teach you earlier, make yourself a simple sentence and try it out. For example, I offered to help him. I offered helping him. Yeah. Okay. I offered to give him. I offered giving him $5. Obviously, for me, offer is going to be an infinitive. So I would definitely put offer in this list here. Okay, offer would definitely go here. All right. How about learn? Actually, I think we had learn in the lesson. Zinyo, what do you think? Learn, followed by an infinitive or a gerund?
Either.
Really? Really? Wait a minute. Learn. I want to try to learn swimming. I'm currently learning to play the guitar. Playing the guitar. Actually, again, this is another one that even native speakers make mistakes on a lot, but it should be only an infinitive. Learn should be in this infinitive list. Should be. Fancy. And it's gone. Okay, Javier, what do you fancy?
Sorry?
Fancy as a verb. What do you think? Should it be followed by an infinitive or a gerund?
I think so. It's an gerund.
Okay. So I fancy swimming. I fancy to swim. Gerund? Okay. I fancy to dance. I fancy dancing. Fancy dancing? Okay, I think you're right. Now, all right. So I told you earlier that most verbs, I did say most, verbs that indicate how you feel about something usually can be both, but fancy means you like it. And guess what? It's only used with gerunds. Oh, an exception to the only one rule that we could even come up with. Terrific. You're actually correct. I fancy dancing all night. Vincenzo, avoid. What do you think? Gerund, infinitive,
Avoid, I think it's possible to use a gerund, teacher.
All right. Yeah, you try to avoid drinking too much, right?
Yeah.
Instead of avoid to drink too much.
Avoid drinking, avoid
yeah.
Avoid going.
Yeah, absolutely. You are correct.
Talking.
You're right. Avoid is very strong, definitely followed by a gerund. Zinyu, admit.
Admit.
This is a trick. This is a dirty
Admit. Both are okay.
Why? Yeah, you're right. But do you know why you're right?
Both are okay. I give you two sentences. She admitted making a mistake.
Gerund. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Good.
The law was generally admitted to be difficult to enforce.
Oh, very good. Okay. All right. And there's and another reason, admit means you confess to something. She admitted making a mistake. Also, admit can be meaning to allow in, as in admission. So I admit you to. I allow you in. Okay. He was admitted to buy a ticket. All right. So we allowed him in the door so he could buy a ticket. So when we say admit, like confess, we only use a gerund. But when we use it for allowed in, then we use an infinitive. So tricky, tricky. That one's very tricky, but you are right. Okay, depending on the meaning of the word, which meaning of admit. Okay, that's enough confusion for one day, I think. Thank you, gentlemen, very much for your patience. I know it's difficult stuff, but I appreciate it. Thank you.